Welcome to Your Feature Presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today we are talking about AI. Is it good or bad in movies? The Harry Potter cast. Andrew laughs a little bit. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. We've got a bunch of stuff coming for you. Harry Potter casting. Let's do this. All right, so let's get into this. We both saw Revenge of the Sith a couple weeks ago, 20th anniversary. We both have the popcorn bucket. Also, check out our after show. Me and our buddy Joey Halleck did a little after show because we live in the same town, unlike me and Andrew.
Bummer.
For our audio listeners, our audio listeners, yeah, that's the right way to say that. Andrew is showing his helmet and where you would put popcorn.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Very cool.
Do you think anybody puts popcorn in those?
I did see a rapscallion dump his popcorn in here, and I was like, oh my gosh.
I thought you were going to say a rat. I saw a rat put popcorn in it.
You dirty rat.
The rat from Charlotte's Web, Templeton, that guy. No, it's just so funny because I feel like it's become such a collectible thing that I assume this is your experience, but like they'll hand it to you in a like poly bag, and then they'll hand you your bag of popcorn separately.
Yeah, I didn't.
It's like they don't serve it to you in there.
I literally bought the last one. It was a display.
Ooh.
It was the display Vader head.
Yeah.
And they were all out. So I didn't get a poly bag. But yeah, they slid me the bowl of popcorn like after they handed me the head. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I did buy popcorn too, didn't I?
Yeah. Oh, you can keep it.
No,
has that got salt and butter on there? I'm good.
No, not for me.
I'm a popcorn purist myself.
Come on.
Also, another thing is I went with Joey Halleck, like we said earlier, and his buddy, and I apologize, I can't remember his name. He raw dogged the movie. No drink, no popcorn, just right at the screen. It was impressive.
You know what's really, really funny?
What?
I sat next to a guy who raw dogged this movie, and I raise you raw dogging this movie with the entire time. You know those big movie chairs that almost every respectable theater has now?
Yeah.
Right? The entire time.
Not in mine, but yeah.
Sorry. His elbows were on the armrests, right? And he had his fingers steepled. And he watched the whole movie like he's Professor X in his office, listening to Logan tell him why he needs to go on the mission. Like, his fingertips were just touching the entire time right in front of his nose. And that's how he watched, 2.5 hours of Star Wars?
Yeah, of a movie he's probably seen.
Of a movie he's seen
many
times. We all have. And I was like, brother, I know we're all fans, but like, you need to relax right now. Like, untense your shoulders. I can smell it.
Do you think he was trying to cut out the periphery? Like he was trying to didn't want to see anything below his hands or something like that?
No, it was like, he was just like right here. Like sometimes it'd be like on his chin and he'd be like, ah, yes, I am the Senate.
He's just mouthing all Plagueis's or Palpatine's lines.
Yeah.
That's so great.
You like do one of these guys where they're all just waving.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, go check out our Revenge of the Sith episode. It's a really fun one. We talk a lot about that. We saw people dressed as Star Wars characters. We saw like people taking pictures of the photo. Since then, though, more has come out that this movie is making money. And it cracks me up. This is a 20-year release that we all have on Disney Plus. Probably a lot of us who are fans own it. And it was such a draw to the theaters that I hope this is a wake-up call for Disney. Like, Star Wars is extremely popular, and it's just not your Star Wars that's popular. Like, I think there's something to say that people want to go see a prequel again. And I'm not trying to throw shade because we have enough people throwing shade on the quality of certain Star Wars projects, but their numbers are not there for, so it's cool to me. That's like, I hope this introduces change. Like this people because I think Disney would feel like Star Wars is petering out. And I think this shows the opposite. I think people are like, the masses have said we don't like Disney Star Wars. And I would push back on that because there's a lot of Disney Star Wars that I love. But I hope this spurs them on to be like, what is it about the prequels? Because do you remember how anti-prequel Disney was when they first got this property? Like,
I don't actually remember that.
yeah, well, you were probably a baby at the time, so you
Three
don't remember.
years
Yeah,
old.
you were 4 years old. I was 52. Bringing back all the classic jokes. Andrew hates popcorn. He eats an old man. Andrew's Palpatine now, giggling. Have I told you the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
It's not a story that Jedi are likely to tell you.
But I just thought that was encouraging to me that like Star Wars is still impactful. People love this movie. And as much as I love things like Lord of the Rings, I went to see the anniversary edition, one of those of the Two Towers, a re-release, and it did not see these numbers, and I think it's different audiences, different times. And I would say every Lord of the Rings movie is better than any Star Wars movie, but that's just me. But Star Wars has a fandom, toxic at times, but it is a big and alive fandom. So
It is,
I just think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. It was great.
Oh yeah, let's hear a little bit about yours because we didn't get to see this together. Besides that, you got the popcorn bucket.
Yeah, popcorn bucket. The theater was sold out. I went on a Friday night. It was
Doesn't that feel good too? Just to go to a crowded movie theater.
Yeah, it was
Love
great.
it.
When post a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and the Star Wars, half the theater brought in lightsabers somehow, and they all ignited them. So like the title Star Wars comes in, and the rolling intro credits are happening. Everyone's waving their lightsaber around for like 5 seconds, and then everyone chilled out after that.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I could tell that some of the people in my theater wanted to be in a theater where everyone quotes the movie the entire time, but we just weren't that theater. Like, I'm not that type of person. Most people in the theater weren't. So every once in a while, someone would be like, they'd be like, only a Sith deals in absolutes or whatever with Obi-Wan. And it's like, yeah, dude, I know.
Yeah.
I'm here to listen to Ewan McGregor do that, actually.
We're here to respect the source material.
Yeah, come on. But it was a really good experience. I liked it a lot.
So we're going to shift to the Harry Potter series. The HBO series is coming to streaming. They've announced several big casting announcements, and I just kind of want to talk about that here.
Right.
Yeah, so what they're going to do is it's a streaming TV show, and the plan is for every book to be a season of TV.
Whoa.
So I'm assuming this is going to be a smaller, like 8-episode series. But I was like, so potentially we're going to get like a 8-hour, possibly, worth of screen time for a book. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like, I think
Very faithful adaptation.
yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff that they cut out of the movies for timing. And I remember Christopher Columbus was big on how do you adapt this book into a 2.5-hour movie. And their focus was, if it's not about Harry Potter himself, then we're gonna cut it.
Yeah.
Which is cool because I think we have a lot more like other characters to kind of expound upon and learn more about. And obviously people are nervous about this because it's a full remake of a beloved franchise. And I think this is the first big franchise that I would say that's getting like full on reboot. I mean, what are your big blockbuster franchises? I would say like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, like those big juggernaut ones, like a mass audience appeal. Like, this is really the first time that I can think of that it's one of those mainstays that's getting a full reboot.
But Harry Potter had the continuation series that Jurassic Park had, right? With Jurassic World. They did Fantastic Beasts. Yeah, it is really confusing to me, if I'm being honest, that they're doing a full reboot.
Yeah.
And maybe it's going to turn out to be really, really good. I don't think I have an opinion on. Maybe I will have one after you tell me what the casting is.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have an opinion on like, oh, this is a bad decision because it's going to be bad. I just did not expect it. It seems like it came out of the blue for me as a super casual Harry Potter fan. Like, I've read the books, I've seen the movies, all of them once each, and it was a good story. But I was like, oh, really? You're doing it again?
Yeah.
Didn't we just finish this like 10 years ago? But it's probably been like 15 now, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for me, I'm on the side of I wish we had gotten all the other stories in this universe because it's a really rich world. My biggest regret, my greatest heart in the stomach moment, if I can make up a phrase, my biggest disappointment in life is this. No, I wish they had finished the Fantastic Beast series. Yeah. They planned for 5. I love the first one. The first one is incredible, and I enjoy the second one. And I think a lot of people struggled with the second and third ones, but it really just got canceled because people weren't going to see it, which is like, okay, I understand that, it's not making money. They planned for 5. They only made 3. And I'm like, I just want to wrap it up. I wish I could have gotten a closing thing, on there. So I'm still hoping we do get that at some point. I'd much rather would have had that than this TV show. There's a lot of other series too that I think they could have done even more. I would have preferred more prequels or more just different ones in the universe, or they jump forward in time or back in time, like a founding of Hogwarts series would have been so cool to me. Like there's some history there. But yeah, if you want, we can just go right over the casting announcements and some notable ones. I'll say one more thing too is, how can this be Harry Potter without John Williams?
Oh, no way.
And I don't know if they're going to... I actually don't know that. Could you look that up for me as I go on this?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's been announced yet, but it's so difficult to not have John Williams. And I think they're struggling with this with Superman, because every time Superman comes out and it's not John Williams soundtrack for him, it's almost like, oh, that wasn't quite great. So the original Superman with Christopher Reeves, they did obviously John Williams. Superman Returns, when they rebooted it was the original John Williams. Man of Steel didn't use John Williams, but then in the most recent trailer, the James Gunn Superman, it's back to the John Williams score, because this is,
or at least inspired.
Inspired. For sure. And so it's just kind of, it's like, man, how are they going to do that without John Williams, especially his melody? Because he only did the first 3 movies, but that theme, the Harry Potter theme, Hedwig's theme, is such a core for that movie. So I don't know.
Oh, okay. So the Harry Potter series is likely to feature both familiar themes from the movies and new compositions, but whether it's one composer or several composers who get an opportunity to provide new music, those have not been, at the point of recording, been announced. But it's very likely that John Williams' scores will be used, probably in big pivotal moments.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'd be all for that. I feel like you just can't take it. It's like,
you can't beat that score. Yeah. It's incredible.
It's I understand wanting to make new music, and every movie gets a chance to have new music, but it's like having Star Wars without John Williams. Like, I think you can do it, but you have to have those main themes in there.
Yeah. I think that that I'm not as hesitant to say that Harry Potter music won't succeed because John Williams isn't with it, because like new generations come along and there are talented people, right? And I say that because I know that Ludwig Göransson, who has done Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, like Oppenheimer, he makes incredible music. Some of the greatest film scores in the last 5-6 years, in my opinion. I have a film score playlist on Spotify, and he's like half of the credits is him.
Yeah.
Does he respect and is inspired by what John Williams did with Star Wars? Yes, but it's so definitively him inside of Star Wars. So hopefully, if they get someone to come alongside Harry Potter, they can match that. Not just inspired by, going to use the same melodies and tunes. I don't play music. I don't know if that's the correct term. but someone who can like pay homage to John Williams, what he's done, use those themes in the correct moment, and then create something new that can fit inside of the known and loved world of Harry Potter. Because I think Ludwig did that with Star Wars. And he matched the theme of The Mandalorian really, really well. It feels like a Star Wars Western, right? So, I don't know. I understand not... I understand being wary of John Williams not returning, but I'm hopeful that Max will get someone really good for it, or whoever else is producing it.
This is all John Williams music, but it'd almost be like in the prequels, how you've got the main Star Wars theme and you've got, some like Luke theme or the Force theme, like those ones. But then John Williams made other themes for those movies.
Yes.
Like, Battle of Heroes, Across the Stars. And so it's like those big are huge and it's all John Williams, but those big hits for those individual movies could be that'd be a great way to do it too. It's like, oh yeah, we're going to use John Williams' theme. We're going to use it here, here, and here. These are the big moments. But also this season has its own vibe. And this is the vibe of the Sorcerer's Stone. And
I would love
that. That would be amazing. There is one composer that I have in mind that I would be like, heck yes, 1,000%. What is that composer?
Is it John Powell?
No, that'd be another good one. I'd be okay with that. But there is one that has both of our hearts.
Is it Hans Zimmer?
No, it has our hearts, Andrew.
Our hearts?
Come on. There's a movie that me and you both have saved because of this guy's composing, and we haven't seen the movie.
Not the Voyage of the Dawn Treader, the Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes. Bear McCreary.
Bear McCreary. But he also did the Rings of Power.
Right. It'd be too similar.
Bear
but
McCreary would be really good.
Yeah. He's just one of those guys. But yeah, John Powell, I think, the fantasy. He's got that fantasy vibe. I mean, he did the God of War, the Rings of Power. I think it's a beautiful soundtrack. And that was so cool because he talks about on the Rings of Power podcast is he talks about how he wanted his music to feel like it would flow into Howard Shore's The Lord of the Rings soundtrack. And I'm like, that is so amazing because you could see the best one is the Khazad-dûm in The Lord of the Rings. We have this dark male choir, and speaking in Dwarvish, and then his is the same strength, but it's more upbeat because the dwarf kingdom is still
they're in the prime.
Yeah, and it's just I love it when people think about that stuff, and that is just so cool. We've talked about the Rings of Power a lot. I'm iffy on the show. That soundtrack slaps. I don't care who you are. It's amazing. I love it. All right. Harry Potter casting. Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
John Lithgow is playing Albus Dumbledore.
Whoa. Whoa.
I'm going to give you whiplash if that one throws you. So he's an American actor, which is pretty interesting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I didn't expect that big reaction, but I'd love to hear what that reaction came from.
Continue.
No. Why'd you react like that?
Dumbledore, again, casual fan of Harry Potter.
Uh-huh.
Dumbledore is an old, wise, contemplative person. Could John Lithgow be a skilled actor and portray someone that I don't see him as being? 100%. That'd be sick. But man, Dumbledore being Lord Farquaad, right?
Yeah.
How am I not going to hear Lord Farquaad from Shrek?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see his take.
Did you put your name in the goblet of fire?
Man, he has such a good role though in Rise of the Planet of the Apes when he has Alzheimer's. Such a powerful acting. And also my most memorable movie that he has been in is Harry and the Hendersons. Have you seen this movie?
No.
Harry and the Hendersons is, I want to say, an 80s movie where this family's on vacation, super classic family vacation. Like they're just in the woods ambiguously going on a camping trip, family station wagon, and they hit Bigfoot. They hit him with their car and they take him home and they're like, what do we do? And we're like, well, I guess he's part of the family. It's one of those movies. Yeah. And they name him Harry. So Harry and the Hendersons. It's a great movie.
Wow. Okay. So John Lithgow.
Okay. Janet McTeer as McGonagall. She's from like the Ozark and the Menu. I don't familiar with her acting, but she looks like a young McGonagall. So, okay. So I'm going to try to say this last name and first name. Papa Azadui. He's playing Severus Snape. So this is making the internet have feelings because he's, dare I say it, black. And people are just freaking out. And it's just like, I don't care. It's like, to me, I'm once again, I'm not familiar with that acting, but Snape is a very interesting character. And I got really excited about people talking about just like, what if Adam Driver played Snape?
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, you get that vibe immediately. Same thing with John Lithgow. I don't view this actor as being that, but it's like, let's see what he can do. Okay. Rubeus Hagrid, played by Nick Frost. Do you know who Nick Frost is?
He seems really short. I'm getting hung up on stupid stuff because that being how tall you actually are doesn't matter.
Right.
But I could see like the beard. He's actually English. Do you think that you could move past like the At World's End vibe from him, Heath?
I think so. To me, I love this. This is my favorite casting because Hagrid is the big, lovable guy, but he has a heart. He has the biggest heart, I think, in the whole series. And I think Nick Frost exhibits that.
Yeah, I think there's a potential to bring a more comedic, like genuinely funny side to him.
Yeah.
Through Nick Frost.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I think, I'm in on that one, but once again, we'll see. Hold on. 24:08 timestamp. You got a lot of buzzing. Is everything?
I know. I'm sorry. My
That's okay.
wife is directly above me using the sink.
Okay, it should be fine because it usually edits that stuff out. So yeah, if you want to keep toggle the mute button when you're doing that, I just want to check.
Cool.
And she'll. My favorite quote from Brad Ellis is like, "Well, she's not going to be washing her face for hours."
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, get in those pores. Okay.
All right.
All right. Luke Fallon as Quirrell. Not familiar with him. Might be a new actor. Paul Whitehouse as Argus Finch, British comedian and actor, take the role of the caretaker. So those are kind of the main actors for the series. I think the things that only really stand out are like the teachers matter, but I mean, I feel like John Lithgow is the one that really is like, they've got to get this one right. Hagrid, I think, is really important in the first one, the first book, but he becomes kind of less and less, but maybe they're going to keep using him. So it could be like, I mean, I was like, man, we don't get that much McGonagall. We don't get that much Snape in the first movie. And even Dumbledore is really more of he's more of the unseen power, and so it's just kind of interesting that how much will these people be utilized? And I think for me, it's like this first season, they have to get Hagrid. And I think I'm very hopeful. I think they did it right.
Yeah, I think Hagrid seems to be the strongest so far. And I think it'll be really interesting if it is 7 seasons to watch the kids actually grow up, like Stranger Things style.
Yeah.
The story progresses, and so do the actors. They naturally age, as we all do sometimes, you know?
Yeah. Some of us more than others.
Yeah, Heath is 70 years old right now.
Right.
He looks like a spry 30.
Spry 30. It's nice. Well, that's all I've got to say about the actors themselves. I'm hopeful. I want the series to be good. And I think one of your points was this is going to bring in more people. There's going to be people. We don't like to say that as we do get older, but there's going to be a whole new group of people to see this movie. And this is going to be their first interaction. And I think this is a beautiful story that I think deserves to be spread. So it's like, hey, if this creates more Harry Potter fans, introduces it to a new generation, like the prequels did, honestly, I think that's really cool. And I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's true. That's a really, really strong upside. And I hope that people don't lose sight of that. Like, no, we're getting more book content adapted into high quality film via Max. Like, and if anyone's going to do it, Max is currently the best, in my opinion. Apple TV is a close second for me, and they're like the things that they're doing. But Max is making really, really good shows. Like, The Last of Us is it's a home run for adaptation. So,
yeah, and
I think it'll be good. I will definitely watch it. Like, I'm going to watch this Harry Potter show for sure.
Yeah. And I know people have struggles with some of the Last of Us stuff, but it's so funny as someone who plays the game, like people going through what I went through. Like, do I like Abby as a character is being asked again. And I ask myself this for playing the second one. It's like, and the creator's like, that's the whole purpose. Right. Oh my gosh, the hand thing. I just did the hand thing. Is that the guy, is the creator of The Last of Us, the one who watched Revenge of the Sith with you?
Yeah. I thought he looked familiar. Oh my gosh.
But also, Max does seem to be doing adaptions well. I think better than anyone, because they literally have the creator of the game involved in the making of the show. And I think you can tell if you don't like the changes, that's up to you. But the creator of the game likes the changes. And I don't think you can't say that about the Rings of Power or Wheel of Time. Like a lot of these things that are
Halo.
Oh my gosh, don't get me started on Halo.
Yeah.
I think my least favorite adaptation of all time is the Halo TV show.
That makes sense. I've not watched the show or played the game almost at all. So
that Halo, to me, because they did try to do a different timeline, and I get it, but it's like Halo is one of those things that's frustrating because, like Harry Potter, like The Last of Us, the story is there. Just do it. It's not like Minecraft where they're like, there's no story, just make it in the world, which that's cool because there's freedom there. Best movie of the year, right?
Yeah, Minecraft movie. Star Wars did the same thing. The story to extend the original trilogy was there, and they said no thank you.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a culture among executives and producers and whatever that, like, when they get a property that is well loved or potentially a high grossing property, like lots of money in it, that they go, oh, we can do our own thing. And that way when we make money, it's our money because we didn't use anyone else's ideas. Like, I don't know what's in their heads, but like the Fallout games did a new story.
Yeah.
But they could do that because the nature of the Fallout games is that each one is a new story in the same world. So that was an easy adaptation.
Yeah.
Easy. Like, they did it really well, but the nature of the Fallout universe is that every time you pick up a game, it's a new person.
Yeah.
And that's not the case for Halo, I don't think. That's not the case for Wheel of Time, right? You can't do random, weird, crazy stuff.
Right.
So
I think we're in this whole thing that's like, movies are so expensive, they cost so much money, so we have to get you in. So we're going to do a Halo movie because Halo already has fans. But then it's people that are involved don't really like Halo or want to do their own thing. And it's just like, I think it's the worst of both worlds. I think those creatives that want to do their own thing in a sci-fi genre should just go do that. And I wish they could. And people who love Halo are like, I love to do a Halo movie. Like, have those people do those Halo projects, you know? Well, while we're talking about budgets, I think we should jump right to James Cameron, because I think he said some really interesting stuff with budgeting. So, Andrew, why don't you tell us what's going on with James Cameron?
Yeah, so James, this is my understanding of it. James Cameron joined a board associated with filmmakers. It's called basically the board of directors is kind of like a panel for people who want some stability in the filmmaking industry for AI. So it's called like, let's see. He joined the board of directors for Stability AI, Stability AI being like the organization, in September. February rolls around. That's like pro AI. We can use AI well, and we just need it to be like well researched and okay. Before that, he is very adamant against AI usage. And then again in February, after he's joined the board, he still says that Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, will premiere with a disclaimer in the beginning. This is late February, he said this, so it could have changed, I guess. But he still said that there will be a disclaimer saying there was no generative AI used in the film. I don't know if that's different from his stances previously, but it seems like all he wants us to know as like viewers of this movie is like the images that you see are not generated with AI. Everything is like brought to life in like very similar groundbreaking ways that we've done it in the past. We aren't reverting to AI usage for generating the Na'vi people, their backgrounds, like the water, whatever. But it does sound like, maybe Heath, you can give me your opinion on this. It does sound like he's open to AI organizing scripts for movies, maybe even writing some like parts of it. I don't know about that piece, but he said that AI has a role in movies, and that is like without question. And it seems like he might be in the camp of AI being kind of the mundane task go-to, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think?
Well, yeah. And basically, after those first 2 points of him being on the board and then saying no generative AI, he's come out saying now that the cost of blockbuster films needs to be cut in half, and AI is the answer.
Right. So, like, where do you do that?
Exactly. So it seems to me he's almost going back and forth, figuring it out. But like, so it's confusing because is he now going back on his earlier quote of like, oh, Fire and Ash is going to have this disclaimer, no generative AI. And now he's saying, oh, just kidding. It is. And it should have AI, or my next movie will have AI. Or is he saying describing a specific type of AI usage? And it's like, oh, it's going to be used, and this is how we do it. Movies are too expensive, and I am not smart enough to understand why. I'm someone that's like, why is the animation getting worse and it's costing more for some reason?
Yeah.
You know,
that's. So I wonder if Stability AI is like you know how you go to Chat GPT and you're like, hey, give me a picture of a soda can dancing at midnight, and it's like, I got you. Stability AI does that. They text to image generative AI work. So him joining the board of that, maybe he feels like he has to put a preface on his movie. Like, I know that I'm associated with Stability AI, with AI like image generators.
Yeah.
However, this movie is not. So maybe it's just the fact that if a movie doesn't have AI in it, that there needs to be a disclaimer for the sake of the artists. And if a movie does have AI in it, then probably we as the consumer should be made aware. You know? How do you feel about that? Like, if there's an AI generated scene or movie, something in there, do you want to be told beforehand?
This is something that I feel like is such a topic. a touchy topic because it's different. Because I don't think I can fully speak well to this one because I am not an artist. I would not say I'm any type of artist. I am a lover of story, and that's why I love to do this movie podcast. That's why I love movie, TV shows, books, video games. And so I think this is more from a perspective of an artist, a creator in that space of taking away jobs, taking away abilities. But from my outside perspective, it feels like the best images that is going to be human created. How could an AI make a Ralph McQuarrie, a design? But we can have AI create ships in the style of Ralph McQuarrie. So if it's established and we're using it to extend creative, I think that's a way to go forward. And I think that's what James Cameron is doing. Specifically animation, if we're like, hey, I had, these artists are creating the Na'vi, these ships, these people, but in the background, 10% of movements, the various things is extended by AI or it's a programmed AI, I'd be okay with that. I mean, they've been using AI since at least the filming of The Lord of the Rings. They used a program called Epic, and these battle simulators were using AI, orcs and elves and all that kind of stuff, to fight. And so a lot of these scenes are like, yeah, you've got your main characters and then your backup actors, and then in the back there's probably AI, elves and orcs.
It's all simulation
fighting. Yeah. And so it's like we didn't have a problem with that then, but then now it's become a thing where it's, wait, is this taking away animators' jobs?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So it's difficult topic for sure. I think this is a really interesting discussion point.
Yeah. This is what I tell my students because AI comes up a lot in the school setting. In a general sense, if AI is a crutch and it's the reason that you have succeeded or accomplished something, that's bad. It's not going to go well for you. If you can find a way to use AI as a tool, and like you said, give you that extra 10% of your own ability, or streamline your process, help you understand things better, then you're probably in an okay spot. And I think something of the sort has to be applied to music and movies. That, sure, an AI could take in all of our favorite songs and write me a song, and it could sound really good, and it could compel me. But how many times can I have an AI just rip things from creatives to generate something quote-unquote new before it gets old and stale? Because if AI is the only thing that's creating, let's say we take it to an extreme. If AI is the only thing, the tool for making movies, writing scripts, there's only so far it can go before it starts to like cannibalize itself and nothing new is being created. And that's where you need people. So either the AI stuff in movies is going to like flare hard and crash and die, or we're going to learn how to use it as a tool, I think. So
I do think, again, this whole conversation is confrontational. I'm sure like we're mega feelings for anyone listening, especially in this industry. But if it creates good content, I'm going to enjoy it. And also I think it's going to concentrate creatives to be like, they have to be creative, because all AI can do is create what's already been.
yes.
And so you could argue it's like, well, that's what a lot of movies are, right? It's just recycled themes and ideas.
We just talked about a Harry Potter reboot.
Yeah. And so it's like, and even in that, but just like the Joseph Campbell's Hero's Journey, it's just like, oh, it's about the young person who finds an old mentor, like all those steps. Are we going to have to come up with new things to intrigue it? Because AI can do that. Oh, yeah. Give me a Star Wars style movie structure wise, but make it in medieval Europe or something like that.
Right.
So it's like creatives will have to be creative, and it's okay to me. Like The idea, I guess I'm more into it being extending things, making it cheaper so we can have more of them. And I mean, it's crazy how much these movies are costing. And I think there's definitely, this is my conspiracy theory, I think there's a lot of money laundering going on right now with these blockbuster movies. Because I'm like, how are these companies producing movies, losing hundreds of millions of dollars and still being funded? Like, I don't know. It should put them out of business.
Yeah. Your company lost $300 million and you're fine?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, I love Spider-Man movies. I didn't know how to connect those two, but
that Spider-Man movie, the second one specifically, the Sam Raimi one, is our favorite superhero movie. So
that's great.
Did you hear the tentative release plans for 2 Spider-Man movies?
No, let's hear it.
So, Tom Holland's 4th Spider-Man movie is going to be called Brand New Day. That will release July 2026. No plot details, no casting stuff. It's pretty much appropriately assumed that Tom Holland will be back for that, obviously. But what role does like MJ have in this one? We don't know. Is the symbiote going to be there? I hope so, because there's a little piece of it that gets like cut off and left in his realm and like in his universe. What movie was that?
That was the... I always confuse the names of the Tom Holland movies. I'm a fan, but the Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home is the third one. So No Way Home.
No Way Home. Tom Hardy.
Like Eddie Brock.
Like zapped in.
Yeah, yes, was like there, but he was drinking at a bar the whole time instead of fighting him like the rest of the heroes, which is great. Yep. Yeah, so there's a little piece of Venom there.
Yeah, so maybe we'll work into that. Maybe Marvel will totally ignore that and be like, oh, that was a fake little cameo thing. Because it feels like most of their end credit scenes now are just throwaways. Like, they're empty promises. You know what I mean?
Don't even get me started. Like, they tease all this awesome stuff. The best one to me was at the end of Eternals, and they literally push Black Knight and Blade in the same thing, and we have not yet to see anything.
Zero.
It's like, because what?
They hint things, they push things like that in those post-credit scenes, and they have no plans.
Yeah.
So, of course, it's not going anywhere. Yeah, silly. Bunch of sillies. Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse is set for a 2027 release, June 2027. This one was interesting because a lot of people over the last year, 6 months, really thought that the third one was just dead, that it was going to get canceled. I'm happy to see that some news has come out with it. I hope that, I'm going to be straight up, I hope that Shamik Moore is not a creep, because that was kind of the public conversation around him, the voice actor for Miles. Those were the allegations, might be a strong word. Those were the public feelings about him. And that seemed to put the project on a freeze for a second. Was it that? And or some like Writers Guild strike stuff that we're still feeling a year after that happened? I don't know. But regardless, I think that third Spider-Man movie will be wrapping up one of the greatest superhero franchises to ever exist. I think Into the Spider-Verse as a trilogy is making history currently, and will go down in history as some of the best superhero content ever.
Yeah.
So
Spider-Man's the best hero of all time. I'll say it.
Dude.
I love him.
I don't think I have anything Spider-Man back here.
You're probably not doing this on purpose, but now I'm feeling more guilty because I still haven't bought you the action figure that I promised you.
Did you notice how I mentioned that 2 or 3 times in this episode?
There's nothing Spider-Man related.
There's actually
Andrew a Spider-Man action figure.
There's a spot right down here.
Oh no.
It's a blank space. Got an action figure's name on it.
It's coming. I promise. I'll get on it.
I'm waiting. Yeah, so some Spider-Man news. I'm happy. I'm happy it's coming. It's coming out. So
Yeah, and we're heading into our summer movies. We've had some good. I feel like some good warm ups. And man, we're just so looking forward to my next one that I'm pumped for is F1, the F1 movie in end of June. But yeah, our July. We're definitely going to do some after shows in that. I'm not sure what. We're going to try to do at least one of those movies, see it together, and then do an after show. So yeah, tell us in the comments or in person, whatever. Let us know if there's one that you're like, oh, you guys got to do that one. We'll see mostly just scheduling. We'll see what we can swing, but it'll be fun.
Yeah. So in the comments, let us know which of the 3 huge movies of July is going to get your ticket. Which one do you want to hear us talk about? Fantastic Four, Jurassic World, and Superman.
Boom.
All right.
Take us home.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. Wherever you get your podcasts, we are there with you.
Yeah.
You can follow us, subscribe on all those channels. Whenever we post shorts, YouTube shorts, TikToks, Reels, whatever, jump in the comments. Give us some thoughts, whether it's a topic we're talking about or a topic you want to hear us talk about. You can send those suggestions our way. We love to engage with you whenever we can. So, as always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.